I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Achara Kirk, joined by Jaby Kuwait. You may know him. We recently did a reaction to the Sam BAHADUR trailer, and a lot of you guys were like, oh my god, you guys need to know who the real man is and like what the real man was like. So I found this video. This is called the MAN In Sam Manekshaw from Brut India. So we're gonna check that out. Jaby, you don't need subtitles because the subtitles are baked in, so that's absolutely fine. I'm hoping that we're gonna learn a lot about this person because clearly he means a lot to you guys. So please subscribe, click the bell icon, all notifications, and upvote this video if you like this type of content. Also, if there are other videos of his or about him that you think we should check out, or any other person for that matter, let us know in the comments below. All right, Jaby, take it away.
A number of you will be joining as officers of the Indian Army, a great professional army.
So Sam, tell me about the beginning of the Bangladesh war.
Oh.
Mukti Bahini.
This is like the type of thing that you would do, interviewing your grandpa.
Pakistan has really cracked down in a big way. The poor old Bengalis, what could they do against the Pathans and Punjabi Muslims and the army? So they started pouring it into India. And Mrs. Gandhi, in an awful temper, looked at me and read out messages from the Chief Minister of West Bengal. The thousands of refugees have poured in, from the Chief Minister of Assam, the Chief Minister of Tripura. And she looked at me and said, what are you doing about it?
Oh.
Nothing. What's it got to do with me? She said, I want you to do something. I said, what do you want me to do? She said, I want you to march into East Pakistan.
Wow.
I said, that means war.
Yeah.
So she said, I don't mind if it's war.
Okay.
I said, oh, have you read the Bible? God said, let there be light, and there was light. And you say, let there be war, and there war? Are you ready? I certainly am not.
Wow.
Then I said, this was about 23rd of April. I said, you know, the Himalayan passes are opening. And if the Chinese give us an ultimatum, and I said, the monsoon will be breaking in a few days' time. And when it rains in that part of the world, it pours. Rivers become like oceans. If you stand on one bank, you can't see the other. My movement will be confined to roads. Because of climatic conditions, the Air Force will not be able to support me. And if I were to go in, I guarantee you 100% defeat.
Wow.
I said to Mrs. Gandhi, will you now give me your orders?
Or she's like, just go in.
And she, all right, cabinet would meet again at 4 o'clock. So everybody started walking out, I being the junior one. A smile on my face as I was going out. She said, Chief, stay behind.
Oh no.
I said, Prime Minister, before you open your mouth,
Whoa.
shall I send in my resignation on grounds of health, mental or physical? And she said, oh, sit down, Sam, tell me. Everything you told me is the truth. I said, yes, everything I've told you is the truth. I said, it's my job to fight to win, not to lose. And she smiled at me, she said, all right, Sam, you let me know when you're ready.
Very smart.
Oh, wow.
He saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
What went wrong at Shimla?
She went there and Bhutto made a complete of her.
Oh.
I know I've just taken over from Yahya Khan. If I yield anything just now, they'll throw me out. Give me a chance. In 6 months' time, I promise you, we'll settle everything peacefully. She came back and she told me, I said, he's made a monkey out of you. I went to Pakistan about 2 months after the conflict. And They really gave me a first-class welcome. The governor, this was at Lahore, the governor invited me for lunch, gave me a martini before lunch,
Wow.
wines at lunch.
Wow.
And during lunch, he said, General, will you do me a favor? So I said, if I can, Mr. Governor, I will. I thought he was going to be asking me about some relation of it. He said, my staff is outside. They want to shake hands with you. I went out, and there they were all lined up. About the 11th man took his pagri off and put it at my feet.
Wow.
So I picked it up. I gave it to him. ये क्यों आपने किया? कहता हजूर, आप थे तो हम बच गए.
Wow.
मेरे 5 लड़के आपके कैदी हैं.
Oh my gosh.
उनकी चिट्ठी आती है कि आपने सबको कुरान शरीफ दी. वो लोग बैरक में सोते हैं, आपके जवान बाहर सोते हैं. वो लोग चारपाई पे सोते हैं, आपके जवान ज़मीन पे सोते हैं.
Wow.
आप जब जाते हैं हाथ मिलाते हैं सबके साथ, लंगर में जाकर खाना टेस्ट करते हैं.
He's a real gentleman, huh?
Yeah.
He turned around, the governor was with me. अब हम कभी नहीं मानेंगे साहब कि हिंदू खराब है.
Wow. That's how you do it.
And I got into trouble in my own country. The bureaucrats and the ministers complained about me. कि चीफ साहब तो उनको ऐसा रखते हैं कि जैसे उनके जवाई हैं. As if they were my sons-in-law.
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
They complained against me, cabinet meeting, at the meeting. Mr. Gandhi looked at me. I said, Prime Minister, they were soldiers. They fought. They fought extremely well. They lost. And I'm looking after the soldiers.
Respect.
No, I've forgotten all about the war and everything.
Sam, what was your greatest achievement in the army?
Do you know, from the rank of second lieutenant to field marshal, I have never punished a man. My adjutant general, when I was the chief, and my judge advocate general used to get, wild. Court-martial proceedings would come to me. If they said not guilty, I'd sign. If they said guilty and punished, I'd take the file home, I'd look at it, I'd say, no, I think witness number 3 has lied, Mr. So-and-so.
Oh, wow.
And they say, how can we maintain discipline with you as the army chief? You're not punished. I say, you damn chaps sit in Delhi with your wives and your children in lovely homes, and you forget what those chaps are going through.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he was like, he's one of them, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I couldn't go anywhere when people would ask me.
That's really cool. He's looking out for his people.
Yeah.
One evening at 4 o'clock in my office, I was having tea when Mrs. Gandhi rang up. She was in Parliament House. And she rang up and said, Sam, are you very busy? And I said, Prime Minister, the army chief is always busy, but never too busy to talk to his Prime Minister.
This is charming.
She said, can you come over? And I said, I'm having tea here. She said, oh, I'll give you tea. I said, I have good tea here. You'll give me muck. She said, come over. I said, okay. So I got hold of the ADC. I said, the girl wants me. Come on, get the car.
The girl wants me.
I always knew I'd talk about it. So we got into the car, went to Parliament House. She was sitting in her office in a kidney-shaped table. She was an actress. She was sitting down like this. I walked in my breezy way. I said, hello, Prime Minister. You seem worried. What's wrong? She said, I've got problems. So I said, oh, cry on my shoulder. What are your problems? And she looked me straight in the face and said, you are my problem.
Oh, my goodness.
So I said, now what have I done? Have I made a speech? Have I done something stupid? So I said, what have I done now? She said, everybody says you're going to take over from me.
Oh.
So I said, and what do you think? She says, you can't. And I said, oh, you think I'm so incompetent? I didn't mean that, Sam. You wouldn't. She has a long nose, I have a longer one. My nose next to her. I want to tell you, I have no intention or even a thought of getting involved in politics or taking over, as long as I command my army without interference. Okay, I told you enough about Mrs. Gandhi and myself.
Moraji Desai.
You want to know about Moraji Bhai?
He's fun.
You've been dying to tell that story, haven't you?
I've got 2 or 3 stories about Moraji Bhai. When I became army chief, Moraji Bhai was the finance minister in Mrs. Indira Gandhi's cabinet. Then he became prime minister. Mrs. Gandhi lost the election, he became prime minister. One day he said, I believe you drink. So I said, yes, I have. You mustn't drink. Very bad for you. So I said, Prime Minister. I come to my Prime Minister, he said, you mustn't drink. I go to a party and I talk to a pretty girl. My wife says, you mustn't talk to her. I'm a field marshal, is life worth living? He says, your wife is quite right. Drinks and pretty girls will ruin you. I said, they haven't ruined me so far.
What a character.
After partition, I became director of military operations. And I remained director of military operations for 3.5 years. I was sent to Kashmir with VP Menon, who was the state secretary. The Maharaja's army the Muslim element had revolted. The tribesmen had come in. And I was sent there with him, VP Menon, to see if he could get the accession from the Maharaja, see what the military situation was like. And at about midnight, the Maharaja signed. He kept on saying, you must send soldiers in. He said, we can't send soldiers into your state unless you accede to India. So at midnight he acceded to India. VP Menon handed over the accession papers to Mountbatten. Mountbatten looked at me. He said, Manekshaw. He didn't call him Manekshaw. What's the military situation like? I said, very bad, sir. The tribesmen are busy looting and raping about 9 kilometers away from Srinagar and the airfield. If they once get in, we've lost Kashmir because we won't be able to fly troops in, etc. So he looked at Nehru and Nehru talked.
This is wild. Like, he's around at some pivotal points in Indian history.
Do you want Kashmir or do you want to hand it over? He said, of course, Kashmir is ours now. So he said, will you issue orders? And before he could issue orders, Sardar Patel said, you have received your orders. So I walked out and we started flying troops into Kashmir.
Wow.
What was your relationship with Sardar Patel like?
Sardar Patel was Home Minister, and I had a good relationship with him. Every morning, VP Menon and I would go to his place, and he would be sitting down there. His daughter, Money Ben, sitting cross-legged with a Parker fountain pen, a brown Parker pen, taking notes. And he would say, VP, I want Baroda. Take him with you. I would go as the bogeyman in uniform. When the killings were taking place in Calcutta, by British Commander-in-Chief, he came along and said, hey you, the Sardar wants you in Calcutta. So I said, why me, sir? He phoned, he wants you there. An aircraft has been laid on for you. So I went there. The Sardar was with the Chief Minister, B.C. Roy. When I went in there, he said, I don't want the arguments, etc. I'm going to ask you a question, I want an answer. If I hand over the situation to the army, how many Bengalis will you kill and how long will it take you? I was a very young brigadier.
Dang.
So I opened my mouth. I said, sir, about 100 in about a month. So he said, turned around to Bidhan Roy. He said, thousands are being killed. He said, go and kill them, take over.
Oh my God.
And he deployed troops all over Calcutta. We didn't have to kill anybody. Everything finished. He said, come here. And in Gujarati he tells me, "Tame sachu nahi bolo?" So I said, what have I done? He said, "Tame kahlu ki 100 Bengali na marso ne ek bhi nahi mariyo." Then he tapped me and said, well done, thank you.
Yeah, see? We don't have to go around killing people.
Then the Chinese came into Nifa and General Kaul was sacked and Krishna Menon was removed and Nehru sent for me. Said, I've got a vigorous enemy. Will you go and take over? And I said, I've been waiting 18 months for this, Prime Minister. And he said, oh, that was all a mistake. That was all a mistake. Will you go? I said, yes, I'll go. So I took over the thing. And so I always say that the Chinese came to my rescue. If the Chinese hadn't come in, and if Krishna Menon and Kaul hadn't been sacked, I don't know what they would have done with me. I said, I don't want to know what happened in the past. All I want to know is, who are my commanders? Where are the Chinese? How much ammunition have I got? How much oil, petroleum, and food have I got?
Wow.
And just leave the map to be here.
Wow.
Which they did. After half an hour, I rang the bell. They came in. And I said, I don't know whether I'm doing right or wrong, but these are my orders. And that was the time when the Chief of Staff took his hat off, flung it on the ground, jumped on it. He said, thank effing God, at last somebody is giving orders. We have never had orders before.
Wow.
And my orders were that we start advancing. So where? No, Khanna, Leja.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Sam, tell me about when you joined the Gurkhas.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Lord. In the Indian Army, there were 10 regiments of Gurkhas. So when India got independence, like the Pakistan, people went to Pakistan, certain regiments went to Her Majesty's Gurkhas and certain regiments remained in India. But there was a treaty between the King of Nepal and the British government that all Gurkha regiments would be officered by British officers. So when the British officers left, there had to be some Indian officers. So I was the first Indian to be posted to a Gurkha regiment. I, having been with the Frontier Force Regiment, now became a Gurkha.
What year was this?
1947. 1947. And I met a Gurkha sentry. I looked at him and I said, asked him, "Tera naam kya hai?" And he said, "Har ka Bahadur Guru." Then I looked at him, "Mera naam kya hai?" And he thought and he said, "Sam Bahadur." Became Sam Bahadur.
That's cute.
Oh, it's over already?
Wow, he's so interesting.
I don't know if it's disrespectful to say, but he feels like that uncle I want to hang out with and just listen to his stories.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's just so charming, and obviously like it's so interesting hearing from someone who was actually there during those pivotal moments in history,
Yeah.
you know, to just kind of hear firsthand what his experience was like. And like you look at him as this old man. I don't know if he's still alive, but like this was, you know,
I don't think so.
a long time ago when they did these videos, but he still had so much vitality and was so full of life and had that like spark, you know, like in his eyes, and he was so good at storytelling and sharing his experience that, yeah, he is that type of guy that you're like, I just want to hang out with you. Like the fact that he was able to just be so casual with the Prime Minister, be like, the girl is calling me, or, you know, being quite sassy with her, I really enjoyed, you know?
This was 6 years before he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he passed away in
2010, 8?
2008, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I read here. June 2008.
I think what's so interesting about him as well is just how peaceful he seemed. You know, like even though he was an army man, to treat fellow soldiers, whether they were from, you know, his soldiers or whether they were from the enemy, right? To treat everyone with respect because he understands what it means to be a soldier and the hardships that you have to go through. And then also to just be like, yeah, I managed to do this without killing a single person. Like, that's amazing. It's to be commended.
Well, he's a pacifist until he needs to not be.
Right.
Is what is my understanding. And it's I think that's a great attitude to have and to pass on to the next generation. I'm glad that so this is his son or his grandson? His grandson?
Yeah.
It's really cool that his grandson decided to do this as a little pet project because it's like you want to document this person. Like I feel like everybody should do this kind of thing. I encourage everyone to take their phone and document a conversation with their parents or their grandparents or their relatives, whoever you can talk to that expresses like your roots, your history. And it's super cool that, you know, this young guy had this wonderful history to draw upon. Like he's intrinsically connected to India's roots in that way.
Yeah.
Into India's history.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's such a cool guy to just listen to. I could have listened to another hour of just him talking.
Yeah.
You know, because everything is even though a lot of these are events that I'm like, I don't know some of these events. This is all new information. It was still cool to hear his experiences, and I would have rather had the uncut version. And it would have been cool to be in the room with him and, and be able to ask questions and like get his understanding of things.
Yeah, I'm like actually I'm very curious now about the film and like how he's going to be portrayed in the movie. I mean, I'm sure Vicky Kaushal will do a tremendous job because he's a wonderful actor, but I know like when we reacted to the trailer, people were kind of like, oh, like you think he's like this just from watching the trailer. You guys need to watch what he was really like those interviews and stuff out there. And I'm so glad that we did because he's such an interesting person.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has this kind of legendary aura about him.
Yeah, like the charisma.
Yeah.
Or the riz, as the children say now.
No, I like it a lot. I think that's super cool. And, you know, there's something about his character and the way he's expressing himself that doesn't feel like he is really embellishing. He's just like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And, you know.
It doesn't feel like a put on, you know.
Exactly.
This was great. Anyway, thanks you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. I don't know if there was anything new there that you learned about Sam Manekshaw, but we're fans now, basically, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys, if you enjoyed that, please subscribe, click the bell icon, all notifications, and upvote this video, and let us know if there are other cool videos like this that you would like us to check out. I'm Achara Kirk. This is
Jaby Kuwait.
Ciao, peeps.